My beautiful ladies and gentlemen, how are you? How are you today? So, today I am so good. I'm actually so happy. My beautiful son in law is back with my beautiful daughter and grandsons. They were so happy to see their father, and I know they've spent a lot of money for us to see him. So I just want to say thank you, and I'm so happy he's safe. So, my beautiful ladies and gentlemen, I've got amazing guests. They're gonna blow your socks off. Are you ready? Are you ready? Wow. So, what if I say to you, your life is like a rose petal, and if you have taken out the thorns of self sabotage, then you can create a beautiful life path for you. I actually like that. I wrote a quote. So yes, I love that. So in order for us to make sure you are ready to receive miracles, you have to be in the present moment. In the present moment. And before I do a beautiful breathing exercise with you, I just quickly want to let you know about my sabotage, self sabotage. I got on my bucket list to have my own magazine, Diamond Moments magazine. I do everything for my beautiful Diamond Beauties Forever group. And I've put it on my bucket list for next year, January. And with all our amazing gifts we got for our 2-year anniversary for the Diamond Beauties Forever group, I got a message from God to say, you have to do the magazine the end of this month, end of August. I didn't know. I never did something like that. I didn't know. And yes, I did put it on my bucket list. And here is my vision board. There is my magazine, although it's a diamond, what is this? Diamond world. That was the nearest to my picture I wanted to get. But I didn't know where I will start. How will I do this? And when I asked in our amazing group, Diamond Beauties Forever, there is 561 ladies in who will be able to help me. One lady said, yes, she will help me. And yes, the magazine is beautiful. It will go out tomorrow as a flip book. So I'm so excited. And we have played a video on my YouTube channel for our amazing ladies to see, as well as our givers to see that we have put them in the magazine. So even if it's a big task, a task that's so big that you never have done it in your life before, if you know what you want, if you're clear on what you want, and you have dreamed what you want, the how, I always say, leave to God. Let go, let God. But still, you need to take action and you need to celebrate. So, are you ready to celebrate my beautiful guest that is coming to blow your socks off, like I said? So, I would love us to take 3 beautiful breaths. And then I will play the video of my sponsor, E360 TV, to say thank you for this amazing network. And then I will bring my guest on. Are you ready? Here we go. Another one in. Last one. Wow, amazing, amazing. Let me play the video. Here we go. Hello, my beautiful beautiful two diamond beauties and Jeremy. So let me just go to the comments. We have people, beautiful diamond beauties already on the screen. I have, let me see. Hello, ladies. Happy Sunday. And we have greetings from Ronnie, and she's Mauritius. Ladies, did you see her beautiful beach that she have take a video on? And then I've got another lady to say hi, everyone. Just want to mention all of you beautiful ladies, as we are a private group, please put your name in the beginning or at the end, because then we will know who is giving us love. There's another diamonds. I think that's about the diamond magazine, Sunaki. And then I love it, Sanet. How did you copy? How do I get my copy, Sanet? Yes. Tomorrow there will be a flip file going through out to everyone. But let me just first of all introduce my beautiful guest. Just give me 1 second. I just want to check something. Oh, my microphone is on. I was just scared it went off because during the video something happened, and it's not power load shedding on our side because we didn't have any load shedding today. We were so blessed. So let me start with Andrea. My beautiful Andrea, I'm going to unmute you. I just want to say, when Ronnie introduced me and you were amazing. We have talked so long, and I know that you already have come to this show already, when it was still my 12 gifted episodes. But my beautiful lady, you are such an inspiration. And I will never forget when it was your birthday and you were at that event. You heard Walking on Sunshine. So that is my forever song. You actually took the time to make me a video and send it to me. When I saw that and I saw you were dancing your heart out, my eyes were full of tears. I love you very much. Please introduce yourself to us and then also tell us, what does self-sabotage mean for you?
Yes. Honor, privilege, and pleasure here. So Miss Sanet with Diamond Beauties Forever, as well as E360 TV. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, wherever you are. My name is Andrea Mason, and I am your first choice, your global voice. I was an alumna of Dr. Les Brown, but to say that I want to impact the world is an understatement. I have connected with everybody virtually on each continent, and I have made it my mission to be the face of change, to go from victim to victorious. I am a personal accountability coach, as well as other certifications, as well as Dr. Les Brown's #1 alumni in my eyes. I have taught so much. Self-sabotage means to me when we put others first before putting ourselves first, to say yes to others and no to us. Self-sabotage is when we look through the lens and want to help everyone else while we are struggling and suffering inside. We take the time to see how other people are doing, ask how they are doing, without asking our reflection. It is most important that our mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health, as well as mental health, are completely intact. When we live life as in alignment and in a balance of both heart and mind, that is when we are our best version of ourselves. A brief experience, if I may, is when I decided to self-sabotage was when I believed the naysayers, the non-believers, and the people who put me down, that their opinion was validated. Until years later, my mentor, Dr. Les Brown, said, someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Thank you.
Wow. I've got goosies. I've got goosies. You are amazing. My beautiful diamond beauties and my beautiful Sunay and Jeremy. Isn't she amazing? Wow. But this is not all. What is that commercial? But wait, there's more. There's more. So, my beautiful Andriana, I'm going to mute you. I'm going to unmute Sunay. My beautiful Sunay. It tells me I cannot unmute you. So, can you please unmute yourself? Please, please. I'm going to
There we
ask you
go.
to. Yes, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself in a minute and then also tell us what self sabotage means for you. But before that, me and Sunay don't know how we met, and we don't know. But she's on my beautiful Diamond Beauty group, and I think you're not even 2 months on the group. And then and we had an amazing coffee chat, and then when I asked for who can help me with the magazine, out of all the ladies, Sunay said, I will. And the magazine is amazing. Did the video, Jeremy, we did a video on YouTube when she revealed to me what she put on that program that she was using. I cried, I laughed, I played with the drums. I don't know what else. I didn't put on my glasses. I didn't do that. So first of all, Sunay, thank you for your talent. Thank you for being my editor. You are truly amazing. Please introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sanet Van Breda. I'm from the beautiful Cape Town. Thank you for the privilege to be here. It's totally an honor and a dream come true. So I'm very grateful that I met you, Sanet. So I'm a self-awareness and personal growth coach. I'm a speaker, an author, I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm here to change the world. I think so many of the ladies I've met have the same vision of making the world a better place. My journey started with not having a voice, of going through a journey of self-discovery, of finding my voice and finding my self-worth, and to realizing that my calling in the world is to help others find their voice and their worth and their value. The self-sabotage for me is when people do or don't do things that block their success or that prevent them from achieving their goals or being their highest self. It can happen consciously or unconsciously. And unfortunately, there's childhood traumas that keeps us trapped in self-sabotage mode. And for different people, it will be different things. It can be very subtle, but you must be awake. It can be perfectionism, procrastination, not being able to ask for help, having a voice, negative self-talk, self-criticism, making excuses or going into blame shifting, to constantly seeking approval. And self-sabotage is often driven by negative self-talk, where you tell yourself that you're not good enough, I'm not worthy, where you think things like, I can't do it. Why even try? I don't deserve it. And that's my view on self-sabotage for now.
Wow, we on fire. So this is the long benches, and I'm going to take a lot of the screen. But Andrea, here's a message for you. It says, Andrea, yes, I've joined you in becoming victim to victoria. Yes, a warrior. Let's fight on together. And that is Anita. Anita has also said has conquered the stinking thinking. Oh wow, I love that. My beautiful Jeremy. Oh, Jeremy. When I met you, you have blown my socks off. Not because you are an amazing person, because you are, but your story. I told the ladies, wow, wait till you meet this amazing gentleman. And I know we're going to hear a little bit of your story of how you became, you were a nothing and as a homeless person. And then what you do, how many people, especially men, you inspire. You, my beautiful one, are one of those gentlemen that are one out of a million. And I can say, me, Sanet Van Breda, knows Jeremy, and I love you. Please introduce yourself and tell us what self-sabotage means for you.
Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Whenever this mission and this message reaches you, I want to wish you a good day, and it's up to you to make it outstanding, but no pressure, right? Really just find something you can appreciate out of this moment. You won. And then you can build off of that moment. That's how you begin to change your momentum in life, in love, in business, in whatever context you find yourself. So I am Jeremy Roadruck. I am the only me on the internet. There's only about 300 Roadrucks on the planet, so we're kind of easy to find. And I have been through the gauntlet of life, and the fact I was even born was kind of cool because I was pregnancy number 7 of 10, and only 2 of us made it all the way out the chute. And if my parents stopped at 2, my older brother wouldn't be here, and I certainly wouldn't be here. So the fact I'm here, there's a purpose, there's a reason behind it. Unfortunately, I had some things take me sideways at 5 years old and again at 6 years old that pushed me in some dark places as a young man. And I didn't know who I could trust or what I could believe or what I could rely on. So it all ended up on my shoulders. And that a person wrapped up in themselves makes a very small package, and a lot of anger and a lot of defensiveness. And it took a while to put Humpty Dumpty back together, and had some adventures along the way, some big experiences. I am now a kung fu master. I am a best-selling author. I'm a coach to men all over the world. And it really is about, this idea, what is self-sabotage? At its core, it's BS. It's a belief system. It's some level of damage or some level of meaning or some level of impact we got from somewhere. Literally, we were born winners. We won the first race, or we wouldn't be here in the first place. The fact that we're here, that's awesome. But something had to teach us that we're a loser. Someone had to give us this idea we're not enough or we're too much. And if we're not enough, we have to overcompensate. We have to change. We have to adapt. If we're too much, we have to squelch. We have to suppress. And either one of those creates tension. It creates pressure. It creates a sense of there's like a hole in our bucket and we don't know how to explain it. We don't know where it came from. And nothing we do out there in the world is ever going to plug the hole in the inside because we have to do that for ourselves. When we conquer the doubt, the fear, the insecurities, when we conquer that stuff inside, we gain a superpower nobody can give us and nobody can take away because it's our birthright, but we don't know until we do. And then once we come to awareness of it, it's a superpower. And that's why, somebody like Sanet is drawing so many people to her, and so many women are empowered by her because she's so much in her light and she's been through the darkness. So it's not fluff and it's not wishful thinking and it's not projection. It's, I've been in the pit and I walked out. So the self-sabotage is that stinking thinking, to borrow from Zig Ziglar. It keeps us stuck in an 8-foot hole thinking, nope, I got to get myself out of it and no one can help me. But if you've ever been stuck in an 8-foot hole, you could grab yourself by the scruff of your neck all day long and you can yank all you want. You don't have the leverage. One person, slightly more resourceful, outside the hole, they just get a ladder and stick it in. You could climb out. And that's why things like the Diamond Beauties, experiences like the information made available on this channel, it helps us, it expands us because we don't have to start from scratch. And no, don't tell me I have to invent fire all for my very self. No, you can stand on the shoulders of giants and continue and help add to the fuel, add to the fire that is the light that's in the world. So that's me.
Wow, Jeremy. Yeah, I almost say to you in Afrikaans, you are so special, but you are truly. When we had our coffee chat, we actually went over our time and we had such a wonderful time. We laughed and we danced. Oh, I tell you, that was amazing. So, Jeremy, the ladies, the Diamond Beauties loves you. Here's a message for you. Wow, Jeremy. Yes, we're all born winners. And another one. Yes, conquering is a superpower. Amazing, amazing. So I am going to go back to Andrea. So, my beautiful Andrea, I actually wanted you to tell us. Let me just bring this up. You mentioned you were coach under the mentorship of the one and only Dr. Les Brown. Now, well, I tell you, this man is like, I have watched a lot of his stuff. His voice, his way of talking to you, it's just incredible. So, how is it when people ask you, did you see him? Did you hack him? But I must just tell you, he's a very big person
Yes.
and you are very tiny. How did it feel to meet him for the first time? And how did it make you feel? Because he coached you, you know, that
Yes.
was this is a dream for so many, so many.
Yes, absolutely. Great question. Yes. So when you are aiming for the stars, you shoot for the moon. And if you fall amongst the stars, as he says, as you've said. My parents taught me, Andrea, no matter what you do what you love, do your best, and do it right. Well, what better way than going to the best of the best? And what was amazing is I learned through several years listening to him, virtually watching him before I met him. He's a fellow adoptee. Ladies and gentlemen, I was an adoptee during the cartel in South America, in Colombia. My parents were unable to care for me, let alone myself. And to finally connect my universe with his as a fellow adoptee and going through adversity to create our own identity. This was the biggest, humblest individual that I connected with. I took his academy when the world shut down. I followed, studied in great precision, and said, I'm not going to be another Dr. Les Brown. I'm going to be the best version of me through his legacy of building love and spirit. So when I met him in 2020, I believe it's 2021, when he came locally, it was a dream come true. But as I said, dreams don't have deadlines. They create destinations. And I utilized and chose the path less traveled and followed his way, been on his shows, met the man with my family in person, and continue to build his legacy of love thereon.
Amazing, amazing. May I ask you another question? You said you were also adopted. Can you
Yes,
tell us a little bit about that, please?
absolutely. So when I was adopted, my parents always said I was a treasure. But little did they know, as I grew up in what we call Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, it was a tragedy for me. I didn't look like my parents. I didn't sound like my parents. Here I was from South America. Here they were from the Americas. But as I grew up, and unfortunately, I have suffered and experienced the trials and tribulations of bullying and abuse, shoved into lockers, thrown into trash cans, elevated all throughout the chapters of my life. I turned those tragedies into triumphs. And now I speak globally and have contributed to orphanages and worldwide magazines, as well as individuals worldwide, to go from victim to victorious. Because it's not it's not what matters in your mind, but it's the matter in your mind that matters most. And that's a stepping stone to increase and empower yourself, to free yourself from self sabotage.
Incredible, incredible. Wow, you are incredible. So I've got a message for you, my beautiful lady. Yes, Andrea, the best is the best. How amazing, how amazing. Thank you so much. I will be coming back to you, my beautiful Sinai. Ah, there I can unmute you. So, my beautiful Sinai, you are helping other ladies when self-sabotage kicks in through also telling them to love themselves and to be mindful, as also to be resilient. When you talk to ladies, do they hear you? Do they hear you? Because that was one of the things I saw. I also wanted to let the ladies know, if you love yourself unconditionally, you can do anything. You can do actually everything. But that self love, they have to experience it for themselves. So I don't know how are your experience with this. Thank you.
Because I've been through this journey of self-love, self-awareness, and connecting to my voice, I've got an ability to connect with the ladies. And when we're on this journey, I help them to see the value of self-love and self-acceptance. And they listen because they start realizing that they're worth it. All these voices in the past that told them, you can't, you shouldn't, you're not worthy. When they become aware of their thoughts, they stop. That's one of the main things that one of my ladies told me. She said, Sonai, what you did for me is make me think. You made me aware of my thoughts. I actually hear you sometimes um, telling me, what are you thinking? Because our thoughts direct our belief systems, and our belief systems direct our lives. And these belief systems can be for us or against us. It can be viruses, or it can be our most strongest, what's the word? Empowerment tools that we can use. But we must be aware of what we think, and most people aren't aware of what they think. So one of the first things we look at is identifying the values, because when I know my values, I know what my life is built on. We find the 6 core values, and then they realize why they're not happy in certain areas of their lives. Their values aren't met. The next step is to identify those believing systems that's not working for them, and they go back in the past and see defining moments, things that happened that triggered that. And then they realize it's all about self love. I never trusted my own voice enough. I never trusted myself enough. I lent my ears out. I allowed other people to influence me. I allowed music to influence me. Social media, the TV, everything, all these expectations that are not real. And it's not real people that's being portrayed. It's perfection, and perfection is self sabotage. No one is perfect. I tell my husband I am. He loves me more than, but not really. But yeah, so if we can realize what our values is, how we can make our lives better by incorporating those values, identify our belief systems, our thoughts. Stop in the day and say, what am I thinking? And just notice that thought. Don't criticize it. Don't judge it. Just see, okay, this is what I'm thinking, but you don't work for me anymore. I choose to think this. And on this journey of self-discovery, they realize they can see what I see, the amazing women they are, the potential that's there. Sometimes you just need to see that someone else can see you like that, to see that own reflection of yourself.
Wow, amazing. So that was one of the things that I always also, my husband said to me, Sanet, you say to everybody they are beautiful, but please stop with that. So that was the beginning of my adventure. And I said, I'm not going to stop, my beautiful one. And then he said, Sanet. But I explained to him, I had to see my beauty, but my whole beauty. And I keep reminding myself how beautiful I am. And because now I can see it, I can see beauty in other people. And I have a lot of people that came back to me, even gentlemen that say they were standing in front of the mirror and they say, where does Sanet see my beauty? Maybe I must relook at myself. So now before I move over to Jeremy, when or where was your point of no return where you decided enough is enough? I am going to change. And what was the biggest reason for you to change that as well? To do the change, to make the change?
Sanet, I used to be very shy. I wouldn't talk to people if they didn't speak to me first. And when I had children, I thought, sure, I don't want my children to be like this, because it's a very lonely and debilitating life to live like that. And lo and behold, my children, my daughters, I saw, sure, they're becoming shy now. And then I realized something needs to change. So I changed me. I changed my mindset. And just by making that shift, my daughters changed. So that was my biggest motivation. I changed my children because I had to be the example of what someone with a voice looks like, someone that owns their self-worth, someone that owns their value, that live it into the world, someone that wants to bring love and healing into the world. I can't expect the world to be better if I don't bring it into the world. I'm part of the solution. I want to leave this world in a better place than I found it. And that starts with me. So my biggest motivation was my children. And then during COVID, when I was introduced to coaching, it moved further. I realized I've been coaching people all my life. I just made it formal now. And the connection I have with the women and the breakthroughs I see, that just motivates me more and more to make this a life calling together with my faith.
A beautiful. Thank you, my beautiful Jeremy. Okay, you will have to unmute my beautiful Jeremy. Thank you. So, my beautiful Jeremy, I want you to tell your story. I have a few other questions for you, as also your book that I want to mention, but we will do it almost at the end. But I want you to tell us your story, where you started and how you are inspiring so many men around the world. And not just that, through you inspiring that men, those men, and I've got goosebumps. You make sure, and I don't know why I want to cry, but you make sure that their wives are happy and that their wives are being heard because they can also speak up. You make sure that those beautiful men see their children, go to their children's function. Do you know how many children and wives need you to talk to their men? You see, now you let me cry again because what you are doing is magnificent. So please tell us. Please tell us.
Well, what I'll start with, thank you for the opportunity and the validation. And what I'll start with is a lighted candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. If you have any level of enlightenment, any level of realization, it doesn't matter how big or how small, you don't light a torch to see the sun. If you have a piece of light and you share it, it amplifies and it extends. And so it's really that realization that matters more than anything, because so many of us get caught up in patterns. Well, no, I have to be at some level, or I have to be at some sanctified, signified, signed, sealed, stamped, delivered. No, you don't. If you have something of value that's going to expand somebody else, offer it, connect it, make it manifest, give it, because when you do, it comes back and it expands. And yes, get training and get guidance and get all that structure. That's important, but the intention is the most important, right? I have a lot of frames of reference and a lot of experience. At 5 and 6, things went sideways. At 7, imagine playing tic-tac-toe with a 7-year-old who thinks if he loses, he's going to die. It brings a lot of intensity to the game. And I realized at a very young age, like everyone else is like pulling back, going, oh, that's not good. So I learned to become a very good chameleon and a very good mimic, because it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what I know. It doesn't matter what I observe. What's the impact? If I end up isolated, if I end up singled out, that's not a good place. And so I learned how to blend in. I learned how to become invisible. At the same time, I realized what people say is one thing, what they do is a second thing, and what they mean to do, what their intentionality is a third thing. And they have nothing to do with each other. Why is that? And I can't trust adults and I can't trust kids. Crap. I'm stuck in a corner and I got my back up against the wall. And so I had to figure it out. And so by 12 years old, I was doing cross-cultural religious studies, and this was in the days before the internet. So trying to find stuff was work. But I had to find out, and I couldn't rely on anyone else to tell me, because I don't know that they even know what they're talking about, right? I realized young, a lot of adults are just faking it and they don't really know what they're doing. And I knew how to play in those cracks, because I believed at the time I wasn't worth anything. So if you try to give me anything positive, I'm going to take it sideways, and you're going to be mad and I'm going to be mad. And that's okay, as long as you can't control me or tell me what to do. That's all that matters, which left me isolated. And it didn't have to be that way, but it was just, I didn't know what or who to trust. And so since then, I've built myself into exactly who I needed when I was young, and no one realized the damage that had been done to me. So for me, the biggest turning point was martial arts when I was in my 20s. because it was a way to get out of the intellectualization, right? Guys have a ritual, masculine has a ritual of labeling. Rather than dealing with the full totality of a situation, we will label a person. We will label, oh, they're a jerk. And now because we've constellated that, so that full experience is this tiny little piece. And now we understand it and we know where to compartmentalize it and how to deal with it. So when we use labels, women can do it, men can do it, because it's a pattern. But when we label, we diminish. And it's a term and it's a structure, it's a strategy to get control. And it takes us away from reality. It takes us away from the full experience of what life and love could be. So labels have a time and place, but when labels start to limit and diminish, we're actually cutting ourselves off from our full power. And so I realized, like, it doesn't matter how intellectually dominant I wanted to be. I got a room full of people that'll just kick my butt every which way from Sunday. Right. I met one of my Kung Fu brothers, Master Chongo, and he wasn't a master back then. Then he went to shake hands. And I'm like, oh, I don't shake hands. And this is me, 5'10 3/4", 140 pounds, talking to a man of a different ethnicity who at the time I didn't know, but he had already been training 20 years. And he's offering his hand to say hello and shake hands. And I'm like, oh, I don't do that. And he's like, oh, why is that? Oh, well, because shaking hands is a ritual among ancient warrior cultures to say that you're not carrying a weapon, but you're a martial artist. You've trained your whole body to be a weapon. That makes you a liar. I don't believe in lying. Yeah, he hated my guts for like 3 years. And when he prayed that I would make it till sparring, and I did, and he beat the crap out of me every which way from Sunday and knocked down, drag out, just beat me mercilessly. And I never got mad about it because I wasn't actually the egocentric jerk that I presented as. I actually wanted to know, like, how did you do that? What did you do? Where was I open? So I was excited every time he knocked me down, every time he punched me, every time he kicked me, because, like, cool, there's an opening. I can close that. Do it again. And I was just like a dog after a bone. And after a while, it wasn't fun to beat me anymore because I never got upset about it. I was always like, cool, what'd you do? How'd you do that? Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Oh, wait, I got it that time. Oh, wait, I didn't get it that time. Oh, I got it that time. Oh, I got it. I got it again. Okay, cool. I'm getting this. And over time, he realized there's actually a pretty cool guy in there, but he's got so many defensives and so many walls. And that was really the thing. So, there's a lot to the story. I mean, I've had a car repossessed, had to file bankruptcy, had to live in a tent in the woods, had to live in my school when I got kicked out of where I was living after my second lung collapse. There's a lot of turmoil, a lot of impact that life made. And through it all, I discovered and developed tools to build resilience, but not through a thick skin. It's really about learning how to create room to breathe. Because if you can breathe, then you can create. Like, literally, if you can take a breath in, that's the moment of inspiration. Like, just the universe can pour into you, but you have to create space. And once you do, oh, okay. And literally, we're switching from our fight or flight into rest and digest. We're re-gearing our nervous system. We're downshifting our psychology. We're like, oh, I can be more centered. Cool. Now that you're breathing, we can begin to rebuild. And so for a lot of men, this idea of be vulnerable, that is not anything a protector or provider ever wants to hear, because we are power. So to give all of that up, to violate our identity, if you tell a man be vulnerable, you will not get the best out of him unless he is literally completely existentially broken. But instead, if you ask a man to be real and be honest and be raw, he will tell you everything going on with him unabashedly. There may be anger there. There may be power there because he's got something weighing on him. But if you want a warrior to show up for you, you can't take it personal. You can't weaponize it or make him wrong, but let him be real and let him be honest and let him be open, and you will get the best out of him. You just got to weather that storm, because masculine has a storm in a different way than feminine. But that's how you get the best out of a guy. And so, for the work that I do, it's just about being in that space of being real and open and honest. And there's goods and there's bads, there's lights and there's darks, and there's the life instinct, there's the death instinct. It's all there. It's all part of life. But when you take the crap that you're given and you break it apart and dig into it, it becomes fertilizer that you can work into the fabric and the soil of your life. You can bring out new life and new growth. That's our part as masculine nurturers, is to work through our stuff and turn into fertilizer. That's how we begin to grow and make new things happen. We got to be real. We got to be, this is the reality I'm in. And what's next? Take a deep breath, because that's where the and is found, is in that breath.
Wow. Ladies, isn't Jeremy amazing? Wow, my beautiful ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy is amazing, but not just Jeremy, Andrea and Sunay. So you are welcome to check out all their links and their bios is all in my description everywhere I've posted, as well as on E360 TV platform. So thank you so much. Let me see. I think there's a message for you. Yes, here it comes. Yes, authenticity is so important. Oh, yes, Giovanna. And Giovanna, you have to take Jeremy's details because Giovanna also have an amazing show on E360 TV and you will be a perfect fit. Will be a perfect fit. I will make sure to introduce the two of you. My beautiful Andrea, if I can come back to you, let me just bring up your next it's not a real question, but your one of the things that on your bio says plan life accordingly to you. Please, can you tell us what does that mean? And then also, how can people get hold of you? Because you are such an inspiration. Okay, sorry, Andrea.
Oh.
There, I'll mute it. Sorry for that. Sorry.
Okay. Are we good?
Yes, you'll be good. You
All
can
right.
go.
Yes. So Press Play, Plan Life According to You is my business, LLC. And like Jeremy and Sanet, I have gone through life, as I mentioned earlier on, through the struggles and strives through life. So my outlets were that of music as well as sports. And everything was a game. The biggest competition of being the best version of you, allowing yourself to heal and feel with the emotions. So I took everything in my personal experience of growth and development through my career path, personal life experiences, losses, pains, and gains, and have molded it into Press Play, Plan Life According to You. Because when we look at life, when we want to get excited, what do? We press play. Play on the jukebox, on the music, press play on the video game, press play to listen to a reel or a video. That is what we do into action. And what our passions and purity allows progression. And as Miss Sonet said, there's no such thing as perfection, just taking constant action towards progression. And that's what I've did on the playing fields of the soccer athletic fields and throwing football with my cousins, as well as getting lost in the music. I'll never forget, Miss Annette, when we played music, and that is just my escape. Music is the universal language. So I've developed a coaching style as well as a professional speaking, and upcoming book that I have of my personal story within the next few weeks. And it talks about the methodologies, the missions, and meanings behind Press Play, Plan Life According to You. And I just want to help people. Allow them to break their barriers and those shackles of being fearful of being vulnerable, as Jeremy has said, and stepping into your authentic self. My core goals and values is authenticity, integrity, and unconditional love. And without effective communication and effective listening, we have that discord, that separation, that broken frequency. So I encourage you in this crazy game of life, be vulnerable, be brave, be bold, and have fun. And get ready to join me as I walk beside you to press play. Plan life according to you. And I can be reached right here at AndreaMasons.com. I have over 1,000 videos on YouTube now. I have my second book coming up. I created a contributing author to a #1 best-selling author on Amazon for an anthology and several speaking events. I welcome you to join me in this game of life, to press play, plan life according to you. Thank you, Miss Sanet.
are amazing. You, my little one, are amazing, amazing. So, can I go to Sinai? So, Sinai, let me just, you're unmuted. I know that you also have you have another hobby, or is essential oils, essential something that you also provide. So can you please tell us about that? Sunay, you can talk. I
Yes,
don't know. Oh,
thank
there
you.
you are.
Yes, I believe, can you hear me?
Yes,
I
yes.
believe that we can grow old healthy. There's a belief system out there that when we get old, we get sick and life becomes tough. That doesn't work for me. I put the parameters for my life there. So I'm always looking for ways to live more healthy. And as I need them, God places them on my path. And I came about essential oils came onto my path. You know, you can even use essential oils to release trauma that's stuck in your cells. I went to look at self sabotage, and the oil to release self sabotage from yourself is rosemary. So you can use rosemary with some tapping and affirmation. There's a whole ritual, but I'll give a shortened version where you can release that self sabotage from your system. So the sentence, you give your brain, you acknowledge the feeling or the emotion of self sabotage. You give it the option, which is to reestablish yourself, and you give it the way from self sabotage to reestablishing yourself. And the way to do that is to let go of old patterns. So when you use your tapping and your essential oils, which you inhale throughout the process, you say, I let go of old patterns, which allows me to move out of self sabotage and into re-establishing myself in my life. And you can say the same sentence on every tapping point that you do. You can do that up to 18 times a day, every waking hour. You can do it for 7 months. You will know when the time is there to let go. So the idea behind essential oils is not just using this oil or that oil. It's having a toxic free life. We're exposed to so many toxins on a daily basis. And if we want to grow old healthy, we need to let go of these toxins. We have to adopt healthy lifestyles, our food, our supplements, the oils that we use. And not all oils are created equally. I'm just going to put it out there. There's a lot of them with fillers in and all types of stuff. So make sure that whatever oil you decide to use, that it's a certified, pure, tested, and therapeutic grade essential oils. There's too many values that you can get from oils that I can't name here, but people are welcome to contact me via any of my social media sites at Coach Sonai Swanepoel, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. One of these days, we're getting there.
Well, TikTok, I must say, oh, let me just put mute it. TikTok, my children also help me on TikTok because I say, Ma, your mindful minutes will be excellent there. So I had to do it too. Jeremy, I was 2 hours on TikTok. I tell you, I was doing something, putting a video on YouTube while dancing in between. I was like 2 hours on TikTok. It was like, my beautiful Jeremy. Let me come to you. You are the author of the only parenting book with a money back guarantee. Please, please tell us.
Yeah, it's called Your Best Child Ever, Is This Game Worth Winning? Because in the now almost 3 decades that I've been working with families and kids, 3 to 94, there's two things that we all do as human beings. Number one is we play games. That's our behavior. And number two is we tell stories, which is our justification, right? And you see this in the Chinese martial arts when the bow, we use the hand and the fist. This is the dragon. This is the invisible. This is the story, the rationalization, the justification. This is wisdom. You can't see it, but you can see it in motion, right? You don't see the dragon, but you see the dragon moving through the trees and the grass and the water. You see the mind in motion in the way people live, in the things they say, the way they explain themselves. Is this a problem? Is this a challenge? Is this a calling? Is this an opportunity? The time and space factor, the external reality doesn't change, but the story we tell is a hypnosis for our inner resourcefulness. If we say this is a problem, guess what? We're going to show up a certain way. But if we say it's an opportunity, we're going to show up in a different way. So the label we use, the story, creates the initial. Then we have the tiger, we have the physical world, we have the action, we see the body doing the thing. This will always drive your impact. So the story drives the behavior, the story drives the game drives the impact. So if you want to change someone's behavior, you can suppress it and you can encourage it and you can reward it and you can do all the things. It's a lot of work. Or you can get to the source of the story and change the story, because then the behavior will change automatically because that behavior is incongruent with the deeper story or the higher story. So I wrote Your Best Child Ever. Is this game worth winning? Here's the fundamentals of a game. There's only 4 building blocks for any game. Interpersonal, with ourselves, geopolitics, religion, business. Doesn't matter the game. Doesn't matter the context. There's only 4 pieces that matter. Get a hold of these 4. You can begin to start changing the game. And we can redefine, it's a game. Is this game worth winning? Do you get to feel warm, big, and happy? And I feel warm, big, and happy. That's win-win. So it's either win-win or no deal. If it's negative, either one of us feels small, sad, and cold. Okay, cool. Let's see what else we can do to play with this, to find a way to make it be warm, big, happy. And sometimes it's over the long term, because telling a 3-year-old no when they are exhausted, they're not going to feel warm, big, and happy. And that's okay, because we need pain to grow and change. Suffering is a whole different story. Suffering is self-generated. That's part of the sequel, is this story worth telling, which I'm still writing. But Your Best Child Ever. Is this game worth winning? How can we get control of the games we play, how we reward each other, how we can separate our behavior from our identity? I love you. I don't love this behavior. I don't love the way you are acting. You're incredible, but what you just did was not okay. So let's take 2 minutes. Let's take 4 minutes. Let's pause. Everybody goes neutral corner. Take a deep breath, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it and we'll find a better way. Okay. All right. Can you be a good listener? Oh, that's awesome. High five. That's a game. And now I'm setting my kid up to do timeout in a way they can win, because we're gonna separate, get control, self-control, come back. Now you're part of the pack again, and we can heal this thing. And there's no damage, and there's no drama, and there's no wounds from our childhood going forward.
My beautiful Jeremy. So you saw my one. So my beautiful ladies and gentlemen, how was my guess? Weren't they amazing? And we've got 1 minute for a dance. So our hour went like so fast. So my beautiful Andrea, my beautiful Sanet, and my beautiful Jeremy, thank you for being my amazing guest. I know there was something that you needed to hear today on this beautiful Sunday. So thank you for joining us. And if I may ask, will you have a dance with me? I'm going to play not my forever song, but the song Jennifer Gerald have written for me. I want to say, please look after yourself, smile often, and keep on. Let me just cue it up before showing keep on dancing. Here we go. Dance.
Walking on sunshine or dancing in the rain. Sprinkle me with fairy dust so I can fly away. Smiling at a moonbeam or squinting in the sun. Sprinkle me with fairy dust and cover me with love. From butterflies to eagles.
Bye bye, everyone.
Oh, there's magic
Bye-bye.
in the